Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated.
Well, it's Long John, Long John.
African American music can be dated all the way back to slavery, as slaves would sing in the fields to pass time and sing about their life stories. One genre that is rooted back to this time is gospel, as slaves would sing spirituals about the Christian ideals that were forced upon them. Spirituals would later evolve into the gospel music we know today. Post-Reconstruction era, the genre of blues began to emerge after blacks began to express how disappointing freedom really was. As sorrowful as that sounds, the blues wasn't always particularly blue. It was often used as an escape, an outlet from the hardships of work that helped express joy. It was also a chance for people again to tell their life stories. As a mixture of both blues and ragtime, jazz would rise in popularity not much later. Originating in New Orleans circa World War I, its influence not only spread across the US but Europe as well. From jazz arose the slow, soothing genre of R&B. Borrowing the driving rhythm of jazz and the sadness of blues, R&B rose into popularity during the Great Depression. An immediate successor to R&B was soul, which took inspiration from both its predecessor and gospel. While having a lot in common with R&B, it also put more emphasis on vocalists and often used either religious or secular themes. The 20th century ended with the emergence of hip-hop, the idea of rhyming to the beat of the music. This would eventually lead us to today's genre of rap. And to wrap it all up, that's a brief history of African American music.
Good morning, Vikings, and welcome to the third day of Black History Week here on VTV Live. I'm Maya.
And I'm Maya. Did you know that Hattie McDaniel was the first African American performer to win an Academy Award for her performance in Gone with the Wind?
Wow, that's my favorite movie. Today we'll be recapping some important CSF deadlines along with an educational video highlighting the life of Rosa Parks. Stay tuned, Vikings.
I got you going so far, keep running away from me. You said you know who you are, you keep it so sweet.
Are you recording? Alright. Okay, welcome to your 2020 span. Welcome to your 2020 span. Welcome to your 2020 span. Welcome to your 20 span. Welcome to your 20 span.
I'll admit it, I've been wanting.
CSF applications are due no later than the end of lunch, February 7th, to room 505. See Miss Henry if you have any questions.
The Honors Gold Robe list for graduation is located in the counselor's office. If you're not on this list but believe you should be, please see your counselor immediately. If you took a class outside of VHS, your official transcript must be turned in to the registrar's office no later than Friday, February 7th. This is the deadline to have these classes applied to your GPA and to qualify for Honors Gold Robe. Any transcripts turned in after this deadline will not be considered toward your Gold Robe status.
Attention students, athletic release stickers are now available for all grades. Make sure to see Mr. Welch in the AP office for your sticker.
Live Touch is coming Tuesday, February 11th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. for Makeup Picture Day. Make sure you're there.
Seniors, senior favorite voting is open until Friday, February 7th. Go to the quick links section of the VHS website for access. You must use your school email. Categories include most likely to be president, most likely to cure cancer, and class clown. Vote now.
LifeWorks has opened up a crisis support line for anyone in the Santa Clarita community in need of emotional support. The crisis support line is open 24/7 and can be reached at the number below. By calling, individuals will receive professionally emotional support and/or a referral to community resources. This resource is available to anyone and everyone.
Come to the VHS Swing Dance on Thursday, February 13th with a live band and learn how to swing dance. Over 50 soloists will sing songs of the 30s and 40s backed up by a live band. Swing lessons begin at 7 p.m. in the NPR and the dance starts at 7:30. Tickets are $10 and can be bought from any choir student or at the door. Now let's take a moment to learn a little more about the life of Rosa Parks. Known as the mother of the Civil Rights Movement, Rosa Parks was born on February 4th, 1913. She grew up in attending segregated schools and spent her youth living on a farm of her grandparents, who were former slaves and advocated for racial equality.
Many aren't aware that Rosa Parks has advocated for civil rights even before the famous movement when she refused to give up her seat on a bus. Parks' childhood experiences with racial discrimination inspired her to later join the Montgomery chapter of the NAACP in 1943 and become a leader for the youth.
On December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat when sitting in a white section of a public bus. Some assumed that she was tired, but Parks later stated, "No, the only tired I was tired of giving in." This movement began the Montgomery bus boycott and ultimately ignited the civil rights movement against racial segregation.
Later in her life after the boycott, Rosa Parks continued to advocate for racial equality and founded the Parks and Raymond Parks Institute for Self-Development, which introduced young people to the importance of civil rights and the Underground Railroad sites. In 1999, she was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal and became the first person to lie in the state at the U.S. Capitol upon her death in 2005.
Rosa Parks' contributions to the civil rights movement set the course for social change and equality, and her activism will never be forgotten. Well, that's all the news we have for you today, Vikings.
Make sure to tune in on tomorrow for the last day of Black History Week here on VTV Live.
Bye,
Bye,
Vikings.
Vikings.